Almost exactly a year on from the Olympic Games, we're at West Ham Amateur Boxing Club, a club with a long-standing Olympic connection, the club that produced Terry Spinks, 1956 gold medalist, and countless other champions. We're here to see some of the boxers of the future and Olympic bronze medalist Anthony Ogogo. I'm John Dennen and this is Amateur Half Hour. I'll start off asking a bit about how long you've been involved with West Ham Boxing Club.
About 33 years now, coaching here now.
What have been some of the highlights, some of the best boxers you've had coming through this gym?
My highlights when you get a boy 8 or 9 years of age come in the gym, and then he becomes a schoolboy champion when he's 11 or 12. That's the that beats senior A champions, and I've had them all. Senior A champions, junior A champions. There's nothing better than see a young boy that's come through and win a schoolboy title. That's the greatest. I love that. Love that.
And do you find boxing really makes a difference to the kids who come in and try?
I think they come in, walk in this gym, some of them, and think they can, because they're fighting the street, they think they can knock anybody over. But they soon realise that when they get in there after a few seconds, it's hard. And after time, I think it teaches them a hell of a lot, that they've got nothing to prove to anybody. You know, that they end up good fighters, they can look after themselves, but they've got nothing to prove. And I think it teaches them a hell of a lot, you know, discipline. And it just, 9 times out of 10, it's very rare you get a boxer or a bully, or a liberty taker. Yeah. You know, usually they're just nice boys. I know you might get the odd one, you know, slips through, but only old. And I've trained a few here over the years, you know, and you know, 9 times out of 10 they're nice people.
And you produced a lot of champions here. What's the sort of what are the secrets to becoming a champion?
I've had now I think I've been in a corner with 168 national champions, and the secret is I've been blessed that I've had some marvellous talented kids come in this gym. Because without the talent, and I believe talent is, you're born with it. You're born with talent, you're born with a gift. And all you've got, some people work hard with the gift and go on to become, you know, good fighters. I've had a couple of world champions, Stevie Roberts and Kevin Lear, British champions, Matthew Marsh, and Commonwealth champion, Mo Hussein, that I've been involved with over the years. And they all had, the champions always had something different about them. They'd walk in the gym, they wouldn't talk to anybody, they'd never talk, and they'd do their work, and they'd walk out to the art. And you met your Marsh, I would say to him, have Sunday off, and all of a sudden, he'd walk in the gym Sunday, he went, Mick, I just got bored, you know what I mean? He'd walk in, that's what makes a champion though. They want to be in the gym, you know, and you've got the others that go for plenty of talent, but go through the motions. They go through the motions of it, but deep down you look at them, oh no, I just know. When people walk in, I'm watching them. Oh, I don't miss a stroke in this gym, and I watch them, how they do. You might get some, go on that bag, 3 rounds on that bag. All of a sudden, you see them sitting down. And now you wouldn't see that with someone that wants to really do it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, the would-be champions are always looking for somewhere to sort of to stop sort of thing, you know, where the champion don't. He wants to work and work hard. Yeah.
So if you don't put the hard work in the gym, then when it's tough in the ring.
So that's where it comes from. That's you know, because so you can talk about trainers, all day long, but the boxer's got to want to do it. If the boxer ain't got the ability, the boxer ain't got the ability. If I had the magic wand, to go and make a boy, give him talent, I'd be a multi-millionaire, John, now, wouldn't I? Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't. They're born with it. They've got it. And that has always been a motto of mine and a saying of mine, that the boxer makes a trainer. The trainer don't make the boxer. You help them, you get them fit, you train, you know. And I've said to you before, John, I've never ever, after a big fight or after fight, seen a boxer praise his trainer after he's lost. Yeah. In all the years I've been in this game, amateur, pro, I've never seen. They don't, do they? As soon as they lose, they want to move on. Yeah. Trainer gets the blame. Yeah. That's how I've seen, you know, the world of boxing anyway. Yeah.
And the club's got a historic Olympic connection. The Olympic Games were just around the corner last year. What was that experience like?
Oh, the Olympics was marvellous. I mean, I had the pleasure to carry the torch, and it's a thing that how can I say it? It's something that it never go away with you, really, you know. And I've still got that torch indoors. I will never understand that people when they be selling them torches, because to me the people that sold the torches was the wrong people in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. Because how can you sell that? You know what I mean? How can they couldn't buy mine anyway.
I think you got a 1948 torch out back as well to go with it. I think you got a 1948 torch as well to go with.
We've got the 1948 torch in here, yeah. And Terry Spinks' Olympic gloves are hanging up over there. Because it's funny when you talk about things. I was speaking to Terry one day. We was going to Darwin. We was at the back of the coach. I was speaking to him, and I said, "Tell about all this eating and all that." He said, "Well, Mickey, he said, I used to love egg and chips and pie and mash." He said, "True." He said, "That's what I said to live on." He said, "When I went Olympics, he won it and had an odd thing and all when Terry won it, didn't he? You know." And so it's all up to the individual, isn't it, really? You know, some people can eat and not put weight on. Some people can eat and also they blow up. He said, it's every individual we sell, you know.
Yeah. Have you, since the Olympics last year, have you had a lot more boxes, like kids coming through the door?
It's packed in here, John. It's packed in here. We've had, you get the people coming here a lot, you know. You get a lot of the Asian community coming here and all, because we've got some little boys coming in here from the Asian community, and they're going to be. I've got a couple that's going to be special. They are going to be special because they're walking. There's ages they're about 10. They're 10 and they come in here disciplined. They walk in, do the work, come up so polite. Walk as soon as they're finished, come up, sit on, we keep shake hand. We go. It's the politeness is unbelievable, you know.
And you're probably in here, I don't know, working 7 days a week.
Yeah,
why did you do it?
In the championships, well, it's just my life. I just love doing it. You know what I mean? And I've had so much pleasure out of it. I've had so much pleasure out of this. Without this, I wouldn't have been carrying the torch, would I? Without this, I wouldn't have had a meeting, lunch with the Queen. You know, and without this, I wouldn't have been invited to the finals of the swimming Olympics. You know, though you don't get paid, I've had more than money can buy. I've had so much pleasure, more than money can buy out of it. You know, and not that you see kids now, they still see me ring me like Matthew Morris rang me last night. Still now ring me. You're all right. Everything's okay. You know what I mean? You can't. Money can't buy that type of thing, John, can it? You know, it just can't. You know, it's nice that if they ever see me out, you know, places to see you. You can't buy that. No.
Well, Mickey, mate, thank you very much.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure, John.
How does boxing compare to what you normally do at school?
Boxing is just like it's on another level. Like the intensity, when you're training and stuff, they really make you sweat, and like you can feel it afterwards as well.
And had you done any before until sort of PE brought you to this club?
I started this year. And I think I might do it again as well. Yeah. It's good.
What do you think of Anthony Ogogo in the class you had today?
Anthony Ogogo, he's got a squeaky voice for a big guy. No, but I can tell he deserved his medals and stuff. You can tell he's worked hard for it.
Did you watch the Olympics?
Yeah.
And did that sort of encourage you to take up the sport yourself?
Yeah, it was actually my first taste of boxing. Like that's the first time I actually got into it properly and stuff. And I found it good. Like, and I saw female boxers for the first time as well. And stuff like that, so yeah.
So you're thinking about continuing the sport as well?
I might continue, but I don't know. If you start this level for the whole time, then maybe not.
So have you done much boxing before, or is this your first experience of it?
Well, I've been here before, but it was part of the school curricula where we had to do it for 2 weeks.
And what,
No, it was 6 weeks of boxing.
and what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it compared to the, sort of what you normally do at school?
It was spontaneous and it was a great way to like introduce new things to the school and sports and stuff.
Was it a bit alarming, possibly someone hitting you at some point during these classes?
I wasn't really nervous about it. In fact, I was more excited about it, getting in the ring and sparring.
Well, what do you think of the session you've had today with Anthony Ogogo?
I think it was a really great session because it's a one-in-a-lifetime chance to be with another Olympian.
Yeah. And did you watch much of the Olympics?
No, I was busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, better things to do.
I enjoy boxing and I think it's a really good sport. When people think of boxing, they think violence and contact, but I think it's fighting for peace and it's like also entertaining people and inspiring people.
Had you done any before, or was it your school that got you into doing it?
Yeah, it was my school that got me into do it, and the school brings in a boxing coach, and then there's boxing on Tuesdays after school, so people go to that as well.
And what have you thought of the session you've had here today?
I think it's it was very cool interacting with other schools and having bronze champion here to coach us.
Well, and what did you think of him as a boxer, as a coach?
He's really great. I think he's real, and he'll talk to you, and he'll say the truth, and he'll tell you if you're good at boxing, get into boxing.
And do you think you're going to get into boxing and keep it up?
I'll keep it up, but as long as there's like good places, local places that like this.
Is this your first time boxing today?
Yeah, my first time boxing.
And what did you think of it?
I just enjoyed it. I loved every single moment.
Is it quite different to sort of what you'd normally be doing at school?
Yeah, it was really different from what I do at school and the sports I do.
Do you enjoy getting the chance to hit stuff and hopefully people?
I don't know yet, but yeah.
And have you sort of watched much boxing before? Did you see the boxing at the Olympic Games?
I watched on TV when the first ever boxing one. That inspired me to like do boxing a little bit.
So you were really impressed with Nicola Adams during the Olympics itself?
Yeah, I was. It was great though.
Was this but this was your first opportunity to actually come and do it yourself?
Yeah, my first opportunity ever since I come boxing, yeah.
And so do you think you'll keep it up and try it again?
Yeah, I will. I loved every moment, so I'll come here again.
What do you think of having Anthony Ogogo, the Olympic bronze medalist, here in the club?
I'm just speechless. I just want to talk to him.
Well, you haven't had the chance to speak to him yet.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, before I go.
I enjoyed boxing today, and I'm coming back tomorrow to do training as well. Don't hate. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I do karate as well, but I'm going to start doing boxing.
So how does this compare to karate?
It's more violent, but it's more of a workout because I feel like karate, it's like less effort. I feel like you do. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I enjoy it.
What do you think of Anthony Ogogo in his training?
He was all right. He's good. He's
all right.
he's good. No, obviously he's an Olympic medalist, so he's like really good at boxing. And stuff. You never know what you think. What
do you like about boxing?
I like what it involves, like punch. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
How did you find it?
I find the training quite fun, to be honest, because I haven't really I haven't actually done a proper boxing training, but I find it interactive and fun.
And is your head over here while you're holding the mic? What was the hardest bit about training?
I haven't really come through any obstacles at the moment, but you never know.
Ask me a question. I think I've got more confidence with fighting. I'm not saying that fighting's good or anything, but I think I think boxing helps you with your confidence to know that if someone like bigger or like older than you tries to intimidate you or something, it's like you have like it's your self-defense. So I think it's really good and it helps you with your confidence and that.
Coca-Cola and street games have brought children from local schools in Newham, the Olympic borough, to try out boxing in the gym. After giving them some guidance, Anthony decided to get in the ring himself and show them how it's done.
Once you've done a little bit of that, you're going to have some fun on the back right.
As a journalist who spent a lot of his time sitting ringside writing notes, I thought it was about time I ventured through to the other side of the ropes and see what Ogogo was all about.
What we need to make it work, really.
Don't hurt him.
Kitted out in the West Ham strip, I felt I looked the part. When it came to actually landing a punch, not so much. Ogogo had decided to fight southpaw and use only one hand to give me a chance. It made a little difference.
Keep your guard up, Jude. Get off the ropes.
Well, I suppose a year on from the Olympic Games, back in East London, this must bring back some good memories for you.
Yeah, it's special. It's really special. It's the first time I've come to West Ham Boston Club actually. This is one of the steeped in so much history. You know, we saw Terry Spinks' Olympic kit on the wall, so that's amazing. So it's brings us some really fun memories, and it's great. You know, the legacy is still on.
Absolutely. And do you think back to when you first started boxing? You know, before you're an international, I guess just at AAA. You know, what kind of difference did boxing make to you then?
Massive difference. It's just. I just loved it. You know, I didn't really. A lot of people say if I wasn't boxing, I'd be in prison, I'd be doing this. I don't think I would have went down that route because I was scared my mum should give me a slap, to be honest. But it just gave me so much fulfillment and enjoyment. I just loved it. You know, looking out there now, and there's so many kids all with smiles on their faces. Most of them have never been in the boxing gym before. Most of them probably would never go to a boxing gym. So like, it's a sport that gives so much. You know, if you're willing to give into it, because it is a hard sport as well. If you're willing to sacrifice and give into it, it can give so much back.
When you first started, did you ever imagine that you'd, I don't know, be boxing in front of 10,000 people at the Excel, you know, in a stadium last Saturday, potentially Las Vegas soon?
No, I didn't, to be honest. I didn't think I was any good. And it's funny because all the stuff you're saying, obviously I went to Olympic Games and won a medal, and I was junior Olympic champion and junior world champion. I still sometimes don't think I'm very good. I still look at other people and think, God, he's good. He's really good. People that I've beaten, I look at him and think, oof, God, he's good. It's fun. I think that's one of my good points though, because I'm never satisfied. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said they watched my fight, and they said, "What did you think of it?" And to be honest, I haven't really watched it back yet because I get embarrassed watching myself. Because I look at myself and think, what are you doing? You know, like your hands too low. You're not moving your feet. So I one of my good points is that I always want to be better. I always want to get better. But yeah, short answer to your question, I didn't. I just boxed because I loved it, you know. And it wasn't until a good few years into my amateur career that I thought I could actually do something here, and I really knuckled down and trained hard, because I thought this is. I was always gonna box, whether I was any good or not. Whether I went to the gym 2-3 times a week as a club boxer, I was always gonna box. So I thought if I really work hard, I could do this and get paid and make it my living. So I'm gonna do it anyway, and which I did, and I have, and I sit here now.
So like when you're when you're about to come out into a stadium in Hull, did you have to sort of pinch yourself and think this is a bit surreal?
No, that's again, it's going to sound quite contradictory, but not really, because I've always, when I did kind of knuckle down, I've always trained hard. I loved boxing, so I always wanted to be the best at everything we did. Most press ups, most pull ups, punch the fastest. But when I did really knuckle down and think, this is what I want to do, I've had nothing but self-belief. Like even when I spoke to you in, all those years ago, prior to the Olympic Games, and my shoulder was hanging off, and it looked like I wasn't going to make it because my route was so obviously it looked many times where I wasn't going to make it to the Olympic Games. I never lacked belief. I never thought I'm not going to get there. I always, it's easy to say now because obviously I went there, but I sat there, my arm was hanging off, I was in a hospital bed, I was a million miles away from the Olympic Games, and I sat there and thought, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get there, I'm going to make it, because I just believed in myself. And I came very close to not making it, but I kind of, dug in and made it in the end, luckily and thankfully. So I didn't really pinch myself, because I've always believed I'm going to be in these big fights. I've always believed I'm going to be in big stadium fights, and hopefully one day I can headline my own and bring some some massive nights to British sport. But in the meantime, I'm trying to kind of carry on working hard and making sure when I get there I'm ready. I'm not just going to be like a flash in the pan. I'm there to stay. Similarly to Carl Froch, I look at Carl Froch and think, wow, what he's done is what I want to replicate, and some if it's possible.
A year ago, the GB team, at the Olympics was hugely successful. How big a difference do you feel, or do you hope that group can make to sort of boxing in this country?
Yeah, massive, and I'm sure we will. We've got some talented boxers, and even if you think of people like Andrew Selby that didn't win a medal, I look at Andrew Selby train, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody as talented. He's phenomenal. So. I think we can make a big difference to British sport. I'm not too sure who else is going to turn pro or who's not, but if the guys stay amateur, hopefully they'll go to Rio and replicate that success, because that was some success we had in London. And guys that turn pro, hopefully we can give pro boxing a well-needed kick up the backside and really kind of rejuvenate it, which I think is, British boxing at the minute is really on the way up. I think we've got 4 world champions now, and it's really on the way up. And if you look just below that world title level, we've got loads on the cusp as well. So it's going really well.
Is there a bit of sort of friendly rivalry between you and your old teammates? Like, do you want to be the first person to get to a professional title, the first to get to a world title down the line?
Do you know what? Honestly, not really. Not at all. Not at all, actually. I think we all want the best for each other. Like, I talked to Tom Stork on the phone, and if he won a British title before me, I'd be happy for him. I would have been happier for him, and same as Lou Campbell, and I hope they're saying the same thing about me. But I think we all got on so well, travelled the world together, and saw each other at our lowest and at our best. So as long as they all do well, I'm happy. Like, I watch and I'd never ever sit and want them to lose, because I want to be the first one to do something. I want them to kind of, because I like them as people, I want them to be as successful as possible, and I want to be successful as well.
Well, and finally, you were the first British boxer to come out at the Olympics. Can you describe what that moment was like? Because that crowd at that point, you must have never seen anything like that.
You just said that, and I've just got tingles that go through my body. That was probably one of the most awe-inspiring moment of my life. It was phenomenal. I look back on that, and the emotion I had up, my lip was quivering at the time, and how I didn't cry, because my mum was ill at the time, and I'd finally made it to the Olympic Games when it looked like I wasn't going to get there, and it was just like my body was like a whole cauldron of emotions, and that was one of the best feelings of my life. It really was.
Yep, and to go. Thank you very much.
Cheers, John. Thanks.